Become who you're afraid to be. Step up and own your greatness. What if the greatest barrier between you and your potential is a part of yourself you've been running from? What if the traits you dislike, the ones you hide, suppress, and deny, are actually the missing pieces that would make you whole? And what if the only way to stop living a life of what could have been is to face exactly what you're most afraid to see in yourself? Welcome to Live Stoic. Live strong, where we trade illusions for truth, where emotions are felt but not obeyed, where clarity is power and discipline is freedom. This is not just a channel. It's a mindset. It's a journey of conscious living. Let's begin. A game of shadows. He never told me his name. Online he was Knox, a stranger I met on a philosophy forum. Over months of conversation, he became something closer than most real-world friends. He was honest, broken in places, and searching. Knox had been addicted to online games for nearly 10 years. RPGs, MOBAs, survival simulators. His days began and ended in digital worlds. At his worst, he clocked 14 hours a day, barely sleeping, surviving on junk food and borrowed time. He dropped out of university twice. Relationships wilted, not from conflict, but neglect. His mother stopped knocking on his door. His body weakened, posture hunched, skin pale. Depression wasn't a guest anymore. It was the landlord. He once said, "Games gave me a place where I was needed, where failure could be undone." Real life didn't offer respawns. Behind the screen, he masked a deep sense of insignificance, a fear of mediocrity, and a soul starved of purpose. His father died, and Knox missed the funeral. He was in the middle of a ranked match. When he finally emerged from his room, his sister handed him their father's wristwatch, cold and still ticking. "He waited for you," she said. That broke something open. He didn't uninstall everything right away. Instead, he journaled. He read Marcus Aurelius, and later Epictetus. He joined a cold shower challenge, started walking. A Stoic line struck him hard. Asterisk. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. He taped it to his monitor. He relapsed twice. Once during a lonely winter, and again after a breakup. But this time, he faced the relapse consciously. He journaled through it, called friends, meditated. He didn't run from the urge. He sat with it, observed it. That's where Stoicism held. He began facing his shadow, Jung's concept of the repressed, denied parts of the psyche. He saw his craving for validation, his fear of irrelevance, and for the first time, didn't flinch. He forgave himself. He realized the hero he played in games was always within. He now works in digital wellness, coaches young gamers. He still plays occasionally, but as a master, not a slave. He laughs more, speaks slowly, listens deeply. The man is not perfect, but he is present. Knox once told me, "Freedom isn't in denying desire, it's in mastering it." Or as Seneca wrote, asterisk, "No man is free who is not master of himself." From the bottom of my heart, I want to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in the world, for taking the time to watch this video. Your presence and support are the driving force that keeps me creating and sharing. No words can truly capture the depth of my appreciation. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing, and thank you for walking this journey with me. Most people live in fear of showing up as their whole, authentic selves. Not because they're weak, but because facing certain parts of who they are feels unbearable. There's a raw discomfort that rises when we touch the pieces of ourselves we've labeled bad, wrong, or unacceptable. To avoid that emotional friction, we unconsciously split our identity in two: the parts we accept and present to the world, and the parts we bury deep inside. In the conscious mind, we construct a refined version of who we think we should be. This ideal image is built from selective memories, fragments of moments and qualities that we believe are worthy of praise, love, or approval. It's a carefully curated persona we use to feel safe, admired, or in control. But in the shadows of our unconscious, we repress the parts of ourselves we don't want to see. The traits we judge, the impulses we fear, the behaviors we'd rather forget. This hidden side of us doesn't disappear. It grows heavier and more potent with time. Carl Jung called this hidden part the shadow, the psychological mirror that contains everything we disown. And unless we learn to face and integrate this shadow, we live in fragmentation. We remain incomplete, constantly chasing potential, yet never fulfilling it. We stay trapped in self-deception, wondering why life feels empty, even when it looks successful on the outside. Picture this. I solve a few math equations and suddenly feel proud. A little voice inside says, "You might be a natural." Then I meet some friends who tell me they're part of a weekend math club. They challenge themselves with difficult problems, explore new concepts, and push each other to grow. But instead of feeling excited, I feel anxious. Why? Because deep down, I'm afraid of what I might discover if I actually join. I'm scared that the image I've built of being a great mathematician might fall apart. In that moment, I face two choices. First, I can avoid the math club altogether. I can protect my fragile self-image by never putting it to the test. I get to keep the illusion that I'm gifted, talented, maybe even brilliant. But it's only an illusion. By avoiding the challenge, I miss the opportunity to grow. My shadow, the part of me that fears inadequacy, stays in control. Or I can take the second path. I can join the club and confront the reality. Maybe I find out I'm terrible at geometry. Maybe I struggle more than I expected. But maybe, just maybe, I discover a strength I didn't know I had, like a knack for differential equations. I start to see who I actually am, not who I imagined myself to be. And while that truth stings at first, it opens the door to real growth. I stop clinging to a fantasy and begin building a foundation based on actual ability. Now I have something I can improve. Now I can earn my place. And over time, that quiet, fragile confidence becomes something deeper, something rooted in experience, not illusion. The truth is, many of us prefer to live in pure potential. We love the idea that we could be anything, as long as we never. Just as we began to uncover the truth about our hidden selves in the last part, a deeper question now quietly rises to the surface. What happens when we turn our backs on those shadows within us? When we reject our shadow, when we carefully select only the traits of our past, our personality, or our behaviors that we approve of, while burying the ones we fear, we begin to fragment. We no longer show up in the world as our whole, authentic selves. Instead, we become a puzzle with missing pieces, always feeling that something is off, incomplete. The life we then live may seem acceptable on the surface, but deep down, it is tainted by a lingering emptiness, a quiet echo of regret that never fully goes away. Why? Because we've denied parts of ourselves that were meant to be integrated, not erased. Carl Jung challenged us with a powerful choice. Will you embrace your shadow or reject it? This isn't just psychological jargon. It's a crossroad each of us must face. Will you choose to step into the full reality of who you are, flaws and all? Or will you cling to an illusion, succeeding only in the safe but shallow world of hypotheticals? Would you rather stumble forward in truth, or stand still in the fantasy of who you wish you were? And as we continue this journey, the next question naturally emerges. How, then, can we begin the brave work of facing our shadow And why is this inner confrontation so essential for our growth? Thank you for your time. If one idea touched you today, come back next time. It may reach deeper. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a quiet moment. See you in the next video.